Hello guys, I'm here to share my experience with you over the weekend. Is that apart from doing YouTube, I also have my other career. So I've been into TV production for about 5 years. So I've worked with the likes of Sound City TV in Ghana, and I've worked with WhatsApp TV, and I've done a lot of production myself as well. As you can see, so I've been behind the scene for the past 5 to 7 years. So it's been an interesting journey. So this is actually my first time of being in front of the camera, so I've declined a lot of interview appearing on screen because I don't really feel it's actually for me. So but finally I'm doing this, so it's good to finally be on the screen. So over the weekend on my other channel, so if you've not subscribed to that channel, Brunch Africa, please kindly do that right away. So I've dropped the link in the comment section, so please do that. Go and subscribe to the channel so that let's grow together as a family. If this is your first time of coming here, make sure you subscribe to this channel, click the bell button so that you can always be one of the first people to know when I drop a new content. So I'm here to share the 5 lessons I learned from the interview we had over the weekend with the CEO of Kantanka Automobile. I'm sure the name is familiar to a lot of you, so especially those of you who are Ghanaian. But if you are non-Ghanaian, Kantanka Automobile is a Ghanaian-owned company that assembled or made and assembled vehicles in Ghana. It's actually first of its kind when it comes to Ghana. So we had an exclusive interview with him over the weekend, and I'm here to share 5 things I learned from that interview, which has actually changed my thinking. And I'm very sure if every young entrepreneur also follow this principle, it's going to change your life forever. So before that, let's get to know who the CEO is. The first point is legacy. This company was set up by his father and it was handed over to him. Yes, we know all hands are not equal, and some of us are not privileged enough to receive this kind of legacy. Is that the same way we also want to hand over to the incoming generation? This is what he has to say about the man that handed the legacy over to him.
This is someone that came from nowhere, came from nothing, came from, complete rags to riches. He's like a rose that grew from concrete. There's no way, or it's close to impossible for the rose flower to grow from concrete. So, he had the belief that, there are systems there and there are odds, but he's someone that defies all odds. He's something different. So, his journey to where he is now, or the journey to where I have taken over, that was like a complete miraculous story. There's no mathematical or statistical calculations that you can calculate to arrive at where he is now. He's someone that didn't have any government support coming up, but he never gave up. Starting an automobile company in an African country where it is even hard for people to believe that someone of their skin color can actually put minds together and build, go come up with some kind of innovation or inventions like the ones that he does. The kind of people that say things that people said at him, he's doing toys and all that he's doing will not amount to anything. He should invest the money into something else, and he never gave up. But even before he got to this level, my father is one person who has been through any kind of hardship before. He's begged for food on the streets of Accra before. This is someone who got slapped. Trying to eat leftovers from people's table at the chop bar. There's someone who has done all these kind of walansa, all kind of nasty jobs and all that. Being sent, washing ladies' clothes, and I'm not saying washing ladies' clothes is a bad idea, but in our African community, if it's not something that is a norm. But he's been through He's paid his dues to the community. He's paid his dues to the nation. And I mean, for him to get to where he is, to start a church, for the church to celebrate 50 years this year.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, to start all these innovations, for it to be on a commercial scale that it is now, for Kantanka to be a global brand, for a car that he has made to be in Norway, for a car that he has made to be in certain parts of Africa, for the former president of Liberia to drive one of his vehicles. I mean, if people know the story behind how that brand came into being, it was a story that almost didn't make it to where the success story is now.
Now you hear from him. He's already planning for the future. He's already thinking about the legacy he's going to leave behind, because definitely this empire was handed over to him, and he is also thinking of how to take it to the next level and hand it over to incoming generation of Kantanka family. So the question I want to ask is, we as young African entrepreneurs, how are we planning for the future?
I really want to make a mark when I'm no more on this earth. So I mean, there are a lot of things that motivates me. It's not been easy, but I mean, every day taking it step by step, knowing that if let's say a week ago I had one, this week I have two. So that means if I go forward and I work harder, the following week I'll have three. And if I work more harder, I'll get 4, 5 till I get whatever that I want. So I mean, it's always been up and downs, but
create multiple source of income. During the course of the interview, he was asked how he was able to manage to run the company, or how the company was affected during the pandemic, and this is what he has to say.
I mean, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, definitely the way any 21st century business is, especially after the whole world has been hit by Corona.
True.
You know, I mean, it's been a roller coaster. There's been ups and downs, but for us, you know, there's a group of companies.
Yeah.
And I mean, the TV station still did their reports, their news and all that. Plus, I mean, the media houses were working. My companies that were a bit hit was, I mean, the school, the transport yard, the construction. Yeah, basically that. I mean, the rest, people had to eat. And I have an organic farm and a food delivery service that delivers organic produce to people. The automobile, it was expected to be hit, but I mean, funny enough, that was a time when people were at home, who had the free time to be watching whatever they were watching. But I mean, we were able to steady sales and pick it up from there. It was a global hit that hit all economies in the world. So we were one of the few companies that didn't do any kind of downsizing with workers going home or doing or running some kind of rotational stuff thing. I mean, it was purely, plus the clinic, it's also part of the group. So we had a few support from the clinic which helped.
Point number 3. This is actually dear to my heart, and it's really unfortunate how we Africans are supporting each other. When he was asked about the challenges the businesses has been facing so far, he said convincing Ghanaians to buy into their products. I don't know why we Africans don't like celebrating each other. I don't know why we Africans don't like embracing each other. I don't know why we Africans don't like to patronize one another. This is one company that is making us proud. I think we should all give the company the necessary support to grow. Hear what he has to say about the challenges they have faced for the past 6 years in the business.
Having government to buy into the local assembled vehicles, that was one. And convincing people in the country that they should buy a car made by their fellow Ghanaian. That was also a major headache. But I mean, for the past 6 years, We've been doing a lot of convincing. For the past 6 years, we've been doing a lot of pushing with government policies. And now finally, Ghana has an automobile policy that protects local assemblies. I mean, local people that do assembly in the country.
Yeah.
And that bit is a bit sorted. And there's this new policy that all government institutions that buy vehicles should buy local assembled vehicles. I mean, so that aspect of the challenges also. I mean, the two major challenges are now, I mean, a thing of the past.
Okay.
Because we've been able to perfect our finishing, we've been able to perfect our customer. Yes,
right.
yes. And now, I mean, we made a few decisions, giving a few of the vehicles to the military, to the police.
Okay.
Had a few high-profile people in the country like Otumfo Sekitu Asantehene.
Okay.
We had the finance minister, Honorable Kenneth Furiata. We have the deputy majority leader. I mean, and counting. We have Joe Wise. We have Honorable Peter Mewu.
Okay.
We have quite a number of ministries and departments and agencies and all these people driving these vehicles that has been able to let the people know. But our biggest bias for the past 5 years has been individuals.
A strategic investment. When he was asked about how the pandemic has affected the empire, he explained that due to the strategic investments and their fathers has put together or the companies has put together, so it will be very difficult for the company to totally go broke. Let me put it that way.
I mean, most of the companies that we have, it was purely strategical thinking into it. That okay, what if demand for this company goes down? What company comes up? So all the companies, I mean, there's no way that any kind of pandemic or epidemic can hit the country or the globe and all my companies is going to be off, unless maybe there's the end of the world is coming. Yeah.
So he explained that due to the strategic investment, it will be difficult for all the companies to be affected at the same time. Though some of the divisions of the companies are down due to the pandemic, but others like the hospital, the foods, and others were actually picking. So the radio station, the TV station. So we as young men, I think we also need to think about that, to be strategic in our investment. So the last point is actually very important. Is an advice for the young entrepreneurs. Listen to him.
Focus more on the job at hand, the job on field. I mean, this social media that people are doing. I mean, if somebody will buy data, and instead of the data to be used to make some kind of money, I mean, you're using your platform to make money. You're using your platform, your data. I mean, people like you don't just buy data and waste it off. We have youth of today who buy data, and I mean, the job they are doing is they go on to the internet and they criticize people. You understand? I mean, the youth of today don't really have that much locked focus. Everybody wants to be the next producer. Everybody wants to be the next despite. Everybody wants to be the next rich man, but nobody wants to put in the work. The work, I mean, CEO is just a title, and I hate titles, but I want to work. I want to be, I mean, somebody when I'm no more. That is my aim. That is my focus. I mean, they should put in the work and stop this. I mean, there are so many people acting to be rich when they are not rich. You understand? And because of the kind of pressure they mount on themselves, they turn to outlive their means of income. I mean, there are people who are earning 1,000 cedis a month and actually spending 2,000 to 3,000 another month. How are you going to be successful? How are you going to buy a Rolls Royce? How are you going to buy, I mean, something? Do you understand? They should live within their means, take good care of themselves, and know that life is a steady journey. You don't have to rush it. I mean, you are not in a competition with nobody. You're competition with only yourself. So that's all that I have to say.
Okay, in case you are thinking of buying one of their cars, he has this to say about the payment option, because definitely most people don't have the cash to drop at once, and this is the payment plan he explained that they have for those who are willing to split the payments over a period of time.
Okay, so I mean, obviously my first point of payment is cash. If you give me money, me I don't get anything I go talk.
Okay, so you watch it, you want buy.
You pay me my money and I go tell the car give you. I mean, just give me money and the car yours. But it's not everyone that has available cash in full.
Yeah.
So either you go through one of these few banks that we have certain auto policy arrangements with them. For example, Stanbic, or maybe what do you call them? CBG.
Okay.
They can, finance the vehicle for you. An auto loan policy. Or we have an in-house payment system where if you pay 50% cash down, the rest can be spread in 6 months for you.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you default on the payment of the 6 months, then we start adding some kind of interest to the money.
That is super great, right? Yeah, so you can spread the pin. What you need to do is to drop 50%, then later spread the remaining one over 6 months. If you know you will not be able to meet up with the payment agreements, I would advise you to wait, gather your money in, and make sure you go there and pay in full so that you can enjoy your car without any worry. Thank you very much for watching this. It's been a great time coming to you again. If you are here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that I can always bring you more on this. I'm begging, please subscribe down there, drop a comment and share with others so that let's build this family together. Thank you so much. My name is Bash. You can call me Mr. Africa. Peace out.